G'day folks, Scott here. Today I'm reviewing Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This movie is set years after the events of Jurassic World, where everything went wrong and they abandoned the island and the dinosaurs were all free. It was the first Jurassic Park movie I've ever seen with my no trailer kick. Never seen a single frame of footage of it, and that paid off really well. Ironically, over the last couple of weeks, people have been complaining to me endlessly about the last trailer they released for this movie that's been running in cinemas for a couple of months now, and just saying how much it gave away, even though they hadn't seen the movie yet. You know, my wife and daughter specifically said, we don't even need to come see this with you now. That trailer just showed us a whole film. And that's kind of accurate. It gave away a ridiculous amount. I'll play some snippets of it in this. If you were trailer free, you probably would have not watched this review now anyway. So, the good is the dinosaurs, as always in Jurassic Park. You know, they're well done. You know, the CG was pretty good. The prosthetic, you know, animatronic effects that you could notice were pretty good. There's a good diverse range of dinosaurs in there. Some new dinosaurs we'd not seen before in a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World movie. And I liked all that. Now, you know, just quickly, like Jurassic Park 1 I really liked. Lost World is okay. Jurassic Park 3 is pretty awful, bar a couple of cool sequences. Jurassic World I thought was a lot of fun. My problem was some of the main characters, specifically Bryce Dallas Howard as Claire. I didn't like her much in the first one. I didn't like her much in this one either. Chris Pratt as Owen was fine. He was exactly, you know, the same in this as he was in the previous one. If you didn't like him in that, you won't like him in this, but I thought he was okay. I certainly liked his elements of the story, both from the first one and carrying over to this, how he was this, you know, animal behavioral scientist who had been dealing with the velociraptors and learning how to give them very basic commands and build a relationship with them. And that carries over a bit into this. I'm going to try and stay away from spoilers on this, but I'll just talk about things that were in the trailer, which was quite a lot. Yeah, they were okay. You know, the story, you know, it tells an adequate story, I guess, to show you all the set pieces they wanted to show you for the movie. But the whole way through it, I was really questioning the logic behind a whole bunch of things that were going on. You know, the premise is that the dinosaurs on Jurassic World, there's a active volcano that's erupting and it's going to destroy all the dinosaurs. And there's people who are just like, well, they've gone extinct once, just let them go extinct again. They were never supposed to be here in the first place. And then there's a lot of animal rights people who are saying, no, they're living, breathing animals. Just because we created them, it doesn't mean they don't deserve rights to not be treated poorly and to not die a miserable death. So there's a whole campaign of people wanting to have them move from that island to another place. Claire comes into it and is, you know, basically hired to help oversee the removal of these animals from this place to a sanctuary. And that was done via a gentleman who had a history through this sort of Jurassic Park thing that I won't reveal. Older gentleman, and he had like a younger fella, you know, who works for him. I mean, one of the shittiest things about that trailer was that this you know, assistant guy who works for this older gentleman is, even in the trailer, given away to be the bad guy, whereas I guess, you know, as the story played out, me not knowing anything about it, although it was predictable, at least it was something that wasn't thrown in my face right from the beginning. You know, of course shit goes bad. They also take Chris Pratt's character Owen out onto this thing because they specifically want Blue, the velociraptor that he had a very good relationship with in the first movie, and they want that dinosaur to be removed from there, saying because it's the last velociraptor and they're too important that they don't want to lose it. Of course, they're being lied to and things go hectic and the dinosaurs are all misused, and there's a whole thing where, you know, the guy who, you know, turned out to be the bad guy that was, you know, given away in the trailers, auctions all these dinosaurs off to like arms dealers and stuff. Now, this is where, you know, for me, the story started getting pretty sketchy. I get that there's the uber rich, and I get there's military factions and all that in the world who have, you know, underhanded means to create weapons of mass destruction and all that. But to buy a dinosaur at auction and ship it around the place and store it somewhere is getting a little far-fetched even for a Jurassic Park or World movie. This led to the big bad dinosaur of the movie being the Indoraptor, it was called, which was this movie's version of the Indominus Rex that was the new dinosaur they gave in the first Jurassic World. Unlike that thing that was more T-Rex, obviously is given in its name, this thing is more Raptor. Now, it's a cool design, and it's a pretty cool dinosaur. It had some really cool moments in the movie. What pissed me off about it was when they were describing this thing and they were introducing it before you'd seen it, they were talking about the fact that they developed this new dinosaur, this raptor, this ultra raptor that was going to be leagues ahead of everything else they'd created before. And they specifically made point that it was even more intelligent, but most importantly, it was able to follow human commands, unlike the other ones that really were a little touch and go. Blue had that great relationship with Owen, but the other ones really just followed Blue. They didn't follow him. Later on in the movie, it's also said that the reason the bad guys wanted to get Blue was that Blue would imprint upon this raptor thing and help them to train it because it would listen to her because her DNA was a massive part of it. None of that panned out at all. They never even used it. You know, no one spoke to or commanded it, or it had any kind of inkling that it would listen to a human being. And when Blue showed up, it had no interest in listening to her either. And I found it very interesting that they sort of set up these big story pieces, or to me they were big story pieces, that didn't pay off or have anything to actually do with what happened throughout the movie. You know, it was cool that the dinosaurs ended up in a big mansion kind of house thing, and there was, you know, a new environment you'd not seen them in before, and there was plenty of chaos and stupidity and crazy shit going on as there is in all Jurassic World Park movies. I had a pretty good time. It's just whenever there was just no dinosaurs and it was just story, I was really kind of rolling my eyes at some of the bullshit they were coming up with. I was fine when Chris Pratt was on the screen, but yeah, Claire's character just doesn't do much for me. There's this like computer guy who's supposed to be the comic relief, like this nerdy dude who shouldn't be out in the field, and he screams like a woman consistently throughout the movie, which was, you know, kind of like funny the first time he did it. But then he did it over and over and over and over again, and, you know, that then just became painful. He sucked. There was like the vet girl who was a new character. She was okay, I guess. So yeah, if you go to Jurassic Park to see it for dinosaurs, then you're going to have a pretty good time. If you haven't seen the trailer I was talking about and all the footage that was in there, then you're going to have a much better time. You're not going to go to Jurassic Park because you're expecting an excellently written and structured story and a mystery and all that, so don't expect it. But I had fun. The special effects were cool. It's just kind of stupid, just like, you know, the others. I still rate the first one as the best by a mile, but I had a good time. I'll be back to review something else again real soon. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Cheers.